Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to Starstruck. You are tuned in to Starstruck with Big Pink Energy, who is me. Maybe you're here for a chat about pop culture, music news, or gossip, or maybe you're listening because you're secretly in love with me. How exciting would that be? Today we are doing a very special live episode, so if you're watching along, say hello in the chat and let me know if you have any questions as we go along. If you're watching on catch up, so you're watching later on because you're not here right now with us, tap my notifications button so next time we do one of these you can join and we can message and talk in the chat together. That would be lovely. I'm doing a live today instead of my usual format where I record and spend ages editing because I'm very, very busy. I'm doing my last minute Coachella prep. Obviously, Coachella is very, very soon, and I have, as usual, decided to make all of my outfits and leave it right until the last minute to do so. So, yeah, got a lot of sewing and crafting and things like that I'm busy with. So, I really didn't have time to sit and edit. Honestly, editing takes so much time. I don't know if you guys have got any experience with like doing anything like this, you will know editing just takes forever. So being able to just sit and talk live and have it all done is definitely going to be easier for me at least, and hopefully you guys enjoy it because then it means I can actually talk to you in real time. I'm a bit insecure because I actually edit out so much of me saying so please apologies in advance for how much I'm going to say today, because when I'm editing I hear it and then I just have to cut it out every single time. But yeah, I'm going to try and not say so much, but it is going to happen. So apologies in advance for that. Yeah, Coachella prep for me is going well. I've got probably 2.5 of my outfits out of 3. I'm maybe, no, not 2.5, 1.5. I'm halfway through, I would say. I've only got really the rest of today, a bit of tomorrow evening. I can't really do too much tomorrow because it's my fiance's birthday. Tuesday, I'm going to be in the office, so I'm going to be home late. So I've got a little bit of time Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I'm at a concert, so I have no time. So I really have to finish everything by Tuesday, end of day. But I don't know, we'll see. I have one whole outfit I haven't even started yet, so just keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I would really appreciate that. I've got so much to discuss with everybody today. Of course, Gaga has announced an entire tour since we last spoke. As usual, there's been tons of drama and discourse and discussion about all of that within the fan base, which we will get around to, don't you worry. But first, let's start with discussing Coachella. We're only 5 days away from Coachella, which is crazy because it feels like we've been waiting for this for so, so long. And now it's finally here. It's like it's sprung out of nowhere. Surprise! Coachella's here. Let me have a quick look. I've got a little list of bullet points of everything I want to discuss today, but I am obviously going to be taking questions in the chat. So periodically, I will check what you guys are saying. We've got lots of hellos. Hello to everybody who is watching. And thank you for those of you who've said you are secretly in love with me. Okay, so let's start with Gagachella. So we're calling it Gagachella, of course. I don't know if you guys have seen the billboards, but there's been some billboards seen in the drive from LA to Palm Springs where we've got 2 different designs. There's been a third one, which I personally think is AI. I don't know if I trust it, but there's one design that's got welcome to Mayhem, a little line drawing of a pause up, and then it says dance or die. And then there's another one with a picture of the mistress of Mayhem. And then it says, what does it say? I think, again, just dance or die. Mayhem will save you, I think actually it says. So yeah, there's promotion and fun stuff already for Coachella. I also am really hoping they're going to be like limited edition merch drops. I think would be really, really cool. Yeah, people in the chat agreeing the red one is fake, the billboard. Yeah, I didn't think that one looked very real. But the other ones I think seem quite legit. So on my drive from LA to Palm Springs, I'm hoping I get to see the billboards. There's going to be a lot of traffic, I think. I'm a bit nervous because I'm going to be driving on the other side of the road, which I have done before. I actually really like driving in the US, but just Coachella traffic is kind of making me a little bit nervous, but I know it's worth it. But yeah, I'll be with some friends. So if we go past the billboards and we're stuck in traffic, we will definitely be trying to get selfies within the car if we can with the billboard. But yeah, we're seeing these new promotional billboards. So we've got an idea of like, people are kind of suggesting that the aesthetic of the Coachella set is gonna be like this kind of 50s, 60s little housewife aesthetic. And I think it's a mix of the fonts we're seeing on these billboards, as well as Gaga's TikTok, where she's doing that Lash song for House Labs. People are kind of putting those together and thinking, we're going to have a 50s, 60s housewife cutesy kind of aesthetic for the Mayhem Coachella set, which, girl, who knows? I don't know what to expect. Something I've learned doing my previous podcast, the LG7 one, is that I thought I knew Lady Gaga. I do not. That woman will do the last thing I expect. I thought I was like a seasoned fan. I thought I could like predict her moves and what she was going to be doing. No, she is going to surprise us every time, and I'm here for it. So who knows? Housewife aesthetic could be here for it. Here for it being something else as well. I've also seen speculation that it's going to be like Studio 54 kind of vibes, like disco 70s, more like the Killer performance on SNL. But I'd be here for that too. If it was Studio 54 though, for me personally, so the outfits I'm making for Coachella, for the Gaga day, I'm doing all white abracadabra inspired. I'm trying to make a lace mask out of resin. If you follow me on TikTok, you've probably seen a little preview of what I've been up to today, trying to make this mask. But yeah, I'm going to be doing all white for Gaga day. And then for the Megan Thee Stallion day, because those of you who don't know, I love Megan Thee Stallion as well. I've made these chaps with like big ruffles. They're actually here. I can show you the ruffles at least that I have to sew on my outfit. Full pink ruffle chaps, bum cheeks out is what I'm doing for Megan Thee Stallion. If the Studio 54 rumours are true, I'm going to want to swap and wear my Megan outfit on the Gaga day, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We can't predict until we see the show. You know, we might get an idea from if there is merch on sale before she goes on stage. We might get an idea from the merch what the aesthetic is going to be like for the set, or the mood or the tone or something. But I really don't think we're going to know what we're in for until she hits the stage. Yeah, I'm excited. I just know whatever she's prepared is going to be incredible. I really think so. I think she's so excited about Coachella. It's the way, unprompted, she keeps bringing it up in so many interviews. I really think like she's looking forward to giving us a big, big show. And I know it's the same for all of her shows. You know, she never wants to put on a bad show, but I just think she's looking at Coachella as like a once in a career kind of opportunity. The same way she approached the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was obviously like a career highlight. I really see the way she's going to do Coachella and her mindset around it as quite similar to that. So let's see. Dance or Die, obviously. I don't know if you guys watched my Mayhem kind of like in-depth review deep dive, but Dance or Die for me is kind of the overarching theme of the entire album of Mayhem, if not her career. I think the themes that she's spoken about in her music so much with us, through the Fame Monster, through to Art Pop, through to Chromatica, and now to Mayhem, it's been so much about Dance or Die. So having that as like a central theme for the Coachella set, I think really makes sense. So I won't be surprised to see that Dance or Die kind of theme being repeated again. I think it's going to be fun. But yeah, something else I did want to talk about on these billboards that we're seeing for Coachella. I don't know if you guys have seen the lawsuit that Miss Gaga has found herself in, but there is a surf brand named Mayhem who are suing her for similar typography to their logo. Apparently the Mayhem artwork that we've seen, I don't actually have anything on me that's got that typography on it. Or do I? Oh, I have a t-shirt with it on, but it's the other side of the room, so I won't go and grab it. But the one that looks like kind of, there's an arch and the Mayhem is in the grungy kind of letters, not the crucifix one, the arch with the grungy letters. They're suing her for that. They're saying it looks too similar to their logo. They've had this logo for years and years and years. So they're suing our girl for the use of that. So you'll notice on these billboards that we're seeing leading up to Coachella, that typography is not there. She is not risking aggravating the lawsuit. I do have to wonder if like they had that planned well in advance and they've had to just quickly swap the fonts out to avoid the lawsuit, or if that's always been the plan to have that aesthetic. But yeah, something else I noticed that I was wondering if you guys noticed that too. But yeah, I was going to talk about set list predictions, but I'm just going to quickly check the chat and see what you guys are saying. What song should she open with? I heard there's a rumor it's going to be 50s theme. Yeah. What's your ideal Coachella set list, surprise guests. Yeah, definitely want to talk all about this. Can't wait for the show. Think she's going to outdo herself. Me too. Yeah, yeah, agree with all of you guys. A lot of aesthetics. It's mayhem. I agree. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a clashing. Not in like an eras way, in the way, I don't know if you guys saw Marina and the Diamonds when she was still Marina and the Diamonds. She did a tour for, I think it was Fruit, the Neon Nature tour, where like Act 1, she was in full aesthetic from her first album. Act 2, her aesthetic was completely the second album aesthetic. And then Act 3 was like her current era aesthetic. And it was very separate. Like the staging, the graphics behind her, the costumes were all very separate. I could see Gaga doing not that, but almost like mixing them all together and collating it all and doing something really like a blend of all of it. I could definitely see her doing something like that. I also feel like I think she's going to be blonde. I don't know. She's been wearing so much black hair, right? All through Mayhem. She only really wore the blonde for like the Abracadabra promo. But in the rehearsal stuff, in the Lash song, she's completely blonde. And I thought this for the Chromatica ball. So I remember like leading up to Chromatica, everyone was doing their predictions, like what costume is she going to wear? What kind of wig is she going to wear? And people were kind of predicting, oh, you know, it's Chromatica. She's going to wear a pink wig or a green wig or a pink and green wig. And then she came out just classic platinum blonde. I feel like platinum blonde for Gaga. And as well, I think with Coachella, what she's going to try and achieve here is something that's going to make the fans happy, but something that's going to appeal to the general crowd at Coachella. And like it or not, the general public see Gaga as a blonde woman. We know that she does every single hair colour under the sun because it's all a wig, but general person at Coachella who's, you know, bought a ticket, is happy to see Gaga, isn't necessarily there for her. They know Lady Gaga is the woman who sings Poker Face, Bad Romance, and she's blonde, and she wears crazy outfits. So I think what she's going to try and do is obviously live up to that a little bit, but also give us something completely fresh. And I'm personally hoping she doesn't do the black hair, just selfishly, because I think being in the audience, we don't get the vision in front of us of like close-up camera shots. And this is the problem I have, and it's a small problem, so please don't think I'm being negative here, but the problem I had with her first Coachella set was her outfit for the majority of the set being completely black. It's hard to see where she is on the stage because the set behind her is all in black. She's dressed in all black. So if you're far away and you're just watching her, you kind of have to rely on the screens to show you where she is on the stage. Whereas if she's blonde in a bright colour, you can see. And I'm planning to be near the front, so it probably won't be a problem for me. But I'm hoping that that's a note they've taken from the first Coachella set that they're going to carry through. But yeah, I'm hoping blonde. And if it's not blonde, I hope, like, I'd be here for like a mayhem orange wig. That would be fierce, because we've seen her with like red hair, but we've never really seen her, apart from when she did the David Bowie tribute, with like a true rich orange, like pumpkin hair would be so cool. I could see that as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's going to do a little bit of like art rave vibes and switch wigs through the set. I really don't know what to expect, but my gut is telling me, yeah, just a nice classic blonde is what I think we're going to get. Someone said, I hope she wears a blonde wig, no black bob, hope not. So you guys agree with me, we're hoping for blonde. Hope she wears something like the Fame bob. Yeah, like classic Gaga, I could absolutely see her bringing that back. She's basically been wearing that, but in black, right? So I could see her switching it for blonde as like her classic Gaga hair. But yeah, I could see her doing that. Someone as well has said, I'm a law student and I'm pretty confident this lawsuit is not going to end up well for the surf company. Yeah, I think if you come for Gaga, you want to have your ducks in a row. You want to have some money to go after her properly, and you're going to want, yeah, be prepared if you're going to come for Gaga. The house is always watching. Tech House is watching. I think they should be scared, this company. I don't know, though. Sometimes you think, like, it's a mix, isn't it? These companies, they're probably going after her because they think there's money to be made. Like, they might be going at it from the perspective of Gaga has a lot of money, so she's probably just going to pay us off to settle and then we get something. But who knows? Because Gaga also has, like, all the resources of not only her, the music label, the record label's resources as well to go after, you know, in defense. So who knows? Who knows how that one's going to turn out? But not a legal girly, so I don't really have much else I can offer in terms of insight on that. But yeah, I think it would be cool to see her do a mashup of AA and How Bad Do You Want Me? Ooh, I could see that. I did want to actually discuss today, it's on my list to discuss, do we think she's going to perform How Bad Do You Want Me on at Coachella? And I think she honestly could, because we've seen how well received that song has been by people outside of us. I feel like the true Gaga fans have said they don't like the song, and then general pop fans and Taylor Swift fans have said they really like the song. So it'll be interesting to see. As I say, I think she's trying to kind of please everybody, but not in a way that makes the set weaker, but in a way that makes her just like a powerhouse. So I think she's going to want to tap into all the different things that make Lady Gaga, Lady Gaga. So yeah, I could see her doing How Bad Do You Want Me? A mashup with AA, Nothing Else I Can Say, I don't know if is likely, but I think that would be fierce. Let's talk about the setlist prediction. So I've been thinking a little bit about her previous Coachella set and how I think she did that job perfectly of doing a set list that made the fans really happy, but not alienating the general public who don't know her album tracks. So, you know, the first time she did Coachella, there was a lot of art pop. I have to say, I don't think we're going to get as much art pop on this. I think she's definitely going to do something from art pop. I don't think it's going to be like an art pop heavy set. I think we might get Applause. We might get, what else was a single? GUI. We're obviously not going to get Do What You Want. We might get, was there another? Venus. Venus was like a promo single, wasn't it? She performed Venus, obviously, at her last Coachella set. So who knows if she'll bring back Venus. I see her doing a maximum of 2 songs from art pop. If I had to put money on it, that's what I would bet. But I don't see it being like a huge art pop moment at Coachella, because I think she did that quite a lot the first time around. She even did Sex Dreams the first time she played Coachella, which Sex Dreams might be my favourite song from art pop, if not the title track. So who knows? But again, the first time she did Coachella was like pre-petition. It was before the petition days. So who knows? She genuinely could do more art pop. But yeah, that's my prediction on that. Mayhem, I don't see her performing every single song from Mayhem, because again, I think that would just be too hardcore, like, fan moment. It would be for us. We would love that. But the general Coachella public, I don't see her doing every single song on Mayhem. I see her doing 5 to 6 of the bigger album tracks. So things that we've seen her make TikToks of, like Zombie Boy. She's probably thinking, everyone's doing the Zombie Boy dance on TikTok, so I'll perform that one at Coachella. Killer. She's done Killer on SNL, so that one's had a little bit of airtime, so maybe that one is going to be in the set list. Shadow of a Man has had a bit of a TikTok moment. Vanish Into You, Garden of Eden is the promo track for ESPN. These kinds of things make me think she's going to do those songs at Coachella. Perfect Celebrity, she performed a version of that on Howard Stern. Yeah, I could see those potentially making an entrance in the, in the Coachella set, and maybe How Bad Do You Want Me? Possibly. I would love to hear Love Drug. I don't know if she's going to do it. If she does it, I'll be very happy. I don't know if she will, because I don't know if Love Drug and Don't Call Tonight, I don't know if those two seem to have really like smashed on TikTok as much as the other songs. And I know it sounds crazy to say like TikTok is going to be what decides. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying we all know Gaga is very chronically online. So she's going to be using that as her intel. I think she's definitely going to perform the singles. So Abracadabra, 100% is going to be performed. I can see her either opening or closing with Abracadabra, because I think she wants to set the tone for the set. So Abracadabra as like an opening song could be fierce. I think she's definitely going to open with a big song. Last Coachella set, she opened with Shiza, which again was like for us, but not for everybody. So I think what she probably wants to do is set the tone with something big that everybody knows, the same way the Chromatica Ball, she opened with her 3 big hits: Bad Romance, Poker Face, Just Dance. the way she did Chromatica Ball was so interesting. Like, got those big hits that she's known for almost out the way right at the beginning, and then deep dived right into Chromatica for the rest of the set. I thought that was quite interesting. I don't see her doing that again, because I think Chromatica is still when she was in that mindset of like every project and every era she does is its own identity. And I think where she is as a person and an artist now seems much more comfortable with being, I'm all of these things at once. I don't have to be in the Fame era to wear this certain thing. I don't have to be in a movie to be pulling inspiration from this character that I played. She can do it all at once and all together. That's what I think. So I don't see her kind of being so separate the way she was with Chromatica Ball. I think she'll open with a really big song to get the mood, set the tone, get everyone excited, and I think she'll leave a couple of really big songs right to the end. That's another thing different to Chromatica Ball, because obviously the encore was Hold My Hand, which was quite a niche. Is that controversial? It's quite a niche song, Hold My Hand. Hold My Hand is like, we know it, again, the fans. I don't think, well, actually, I might be wrong. Sometimes I've heard it on the radio. I don't know if that's a marker of whether people really know Hold My Hand or not. I certainly wouldn't say it's a song people are going, oh yeah, can't wait to hear Hold My Hand when I go to the Chromatica Ball. When they go to Chromatica, they were thinking, I can't wait to hear Sour Candy Rain on Me. Like, they're not thinking, wow, cannot wait for Hold My Hand. But I think, like I say, that's what she did then. I think for this, she's going to close with something really big so people stay until the end of the set. I know most of the time, like, a lot of concert set lists will close with the biggest song from that era. So again, it is similar. Chromatica, she kind of closed with Stupid Love, Rain on Me, and then Hold My Hand. But I think she could close, that's why I think she could close with Abracadabra. I really do. I am manifesting so hard a Disease performance. I really am. And I really hope she doesn't skip Disease, because I need to hear it live. And I know she's going to perform it on tour because she has to, because that's unacceptable. But I want to hear it at Coachella first. I really do. And I'm hoping she does. Like, Disease is just that song. The way you guys see Azealia Banks talking about Disease is, me and her are the same when it comes to that song. I love it. Someone in the chat has just reminded me of Die With a Smile. Closing. She could close with a Die With a Smile. You're right. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. I think more likely than closing with Die With a Smile, we're going to get a piano segment. And I think in the piano segment, she's going to bring out a special guest. I think we're going to get up for potential guests, in my mind, Bradley Cooper, because the first time she was at Coachella was when she was filming A Star Is Born. So I think in her mind, she's reminded of that project because she filmed so much of it at Coachella. Don't forget, like, she debuted last time The Cure, the song, at Coachella, which was like kind of like an Ally Main outtake almost. And she literally filmed scenes of A Star Is Born at Coachella. So I could see her bringing Bradley Cooper out as a surprise guest as like a full circle moment. I remember when A Star Is Born came out, people were really hoping that they would both go on tour and perform the Star Is Born soundtrack. She obviously didn't do that, but for a surprise guest moment, I could see that happening. Bruno Mars is an obvious, easy win for her to bring out as a surprise guest at Coachella. It's like a guaranteed viral moment. If she brings out Bradley, if she brings out Bruno, do the songs with them in the piano segment of the show. That's going to be all over the internet. It will break the internet. The internet will go crazy, all of that. I could see her doing both of those. I could also see her bringing out Elton John. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Elton has been kind of up and down with his health lately. By lately, I mean in the past couple years, maybe. I don't know. I'm keeping up from afar. I'm not on it with the Elton John tea. But I don't know if you guys saw where he had was it his Oscars party? And Chappell Roan was performing on stage with him, and he was like so happy to be there. He obviously was seated like he couldn't stand for the whole performance, but he was just happy to be there. They had a seat for him on the stage. He stood up and he was feeling the music, but like wasn't like up performing the whole time. I could see her being like, look, I've got this incredible opportunity. I'm performing at Coachella. I'm the headliner. Elton John has mentored Gaga for years. He is another person in her life that I think is similar to Tony Bennett, where she's gone to him where she's had those really low moments. And that's why, like, he was even included on Chromatica. You wouldn't listen to Chromatica sound and be like, oh yeah, I can hear Elton John on this album, but he was still on the album. She loves that man, and he's clearly done a lot for her behind the scenes. So I think I could really see her bringing him out. I would be here for it. I really loved, actually, her first ever Grammy performance, where they were at opposite ends of the piano and they duetted Speechless and then Your Song. They covered his song, Your Song. I loved that. I thought that was incredible. So I could see them doing something really special like that. I could also see her doing a Super Bowl and just doing no surprise guests. I would not be surprised. I've just seen someone put in the chat Beyonce for Telephone. Yeah, that's the next I was going to bring up. So I'm not bringing this up because I think she's going to do it. I'm bringing it up because, like all of you, I'm manifesting it. I think there is a chance because she has brought Beyonce up in a few interviews she's done lately. I know that, you know, in that ASMR thing she did, she brought up Beyonce. She brought her up again. Or that might have just been because she's been asked about it. But her answers have been not shutting it down. Her answers have been keeping it quite open and broad. So who knows? Beyonce at Coachella with Gaga would, again, the internet would go crazy. Break the internet kind of moment. I could see that. I would be absolutely here for it. And I think I might not actually recover. If that happened in front of me and I'm in the crowd, I don't know how I've peaked in life at that moment if that happens on stage in front of me. So yeah, I think that could happen and I would be here for it. But something tells me it won't happen. Beyonce's about to go on tour herself. So for her to like make time for Gaga to do a surprise Coachella moment, who knows? But stranger things have happened, right? Beyonce's also done little surprise moments like that in the past that we would have thought would be impossible. Like, remember when she came out on like Lip Sync Battle? That seemed unlikely, but she did it anyway. So I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. Let me read what else you guys are saying in the chat because I feel like I don't normally talk this long without stopping, but because I'm live, I feel like I need to keep going. Let me just read the chat and have a little sip of my water, if that's okay. Charlie as a Coachella surprise guest. Let me talk about this. So I think the people that are actually at Coachella already as performers, I imagine, won't be surprise guests for Gaga. And those people being Charlie XCX, who's obviously done the 911 remix with Gaga. Lisa and Jenny from Blackpink, I don't think will come out and do Sour Candy. Not only because they've got their own controversy going on at the minute, but because I just think Gaga would want to take that opportunity to bring out someone that isn't, like, make it a true surprise. Like, not just surprise, I'm doing a performance with Blackpink or half of Blackpink, but surprise, I'm doing this. And you didn't even think they were on the set list, but I've brought them here. That's more how I see Gaga approaching it. So, yeah, even though they would all be really cool surprise guests, I think if she is going to do guests, that will be kind of the vibe for it, not like bring people that are already on the set list. But who knows? Again, I thought I knew Gaga so well, and the Mayhem era has really just like shown me that I don't know her at all because she keeps doing things that are the opposite of my predictions. So we might get Sour Candy with Blackpink or even just half of Blackpink. It would be fierce. It would be fierce. More, I can just see like Lisa and Jenny in the audience during Gaga's set and her doing a little... Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Let me see what else you guys are saying. You guys also want Disease on the set list. You also want Love Drug, so you guys agreeing with me. Um, I am going to talk about the tour ticket drama soon, don't you worry. Call me selfish, but I hope she keeps some songs back for the tour. I think so. I think she's not going to perform every single thing on Mayhem at Coachella. And I think Coachella, as I say, has to do the job of being that set that's going to please general people. The tour, people have bought tickets for the Mayhem tour. People at Coachella have bought tickets for a 3-day festival and they just want to hear the hits. So we're definitely going to get different set lists for both of those. I can already hear the mama mama for the opening. Yeah, her opening, you're so right. She keeps doing this montage that I really enjoy when she does these big performances, right? So for the Super Bowl, I think for her last Coachella set, for whenever she does festivals, I guess, she does that bit where she takes snippets of different songs and puts them in her opening interlude. And I could see Poker Face being part of that. You're so right. Hot take, I don't want to hear any A Star Is Born. Don't want to hear Hold My Hand, keep those for the normies. I would be here for... The thing is, you guys, as hardcore Gaga monsters, pause up people, all of us, we've heard Shallow a lot. What you cannot underestimate is me and you watching her perform Shallow on a live stream. Compare that to the massive Coachella crowd of thousands and thousands and thousands of people all singing the words to her biggest songs. And I think Shallow, Bad Romance, Always Remember Us This Way, Die With a Smile, maybe Poker Face. They are her big songs for that moment where everybody knows nearly every word. That is exhilarating as a performer. She doesn't just want to perform, like, I know she absolutely wants to perform the new music she's made for us. She's also going to want to have those, like, pinch me, I've made it, everyone's singing all the words to my song kind of vibe. So A Star Is Born, I don't think she'll perform a lot. Don't be surprised if we get Shallow. Don't be surprised if we get Always Remember Us This Way. I don't think she's going to do, like, I'll Never Love Again and Why Did You Do That and Hair, Body Face. I don't think we're getting those, but Shallow and Always Remember Us This Way, I could see her doing that for that just like, wow, Lady Gaga is at Coachella kind of big moment. I could see her doing that on the piano. I definitely think she's going to do a piano segment as well. You think she's going to open with Disease and close with Abracadabra? I could see her doing that. I can see her performing Donatella to honour Donatella stepping down from Versace. Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. I wonder if... Yeah, that, you know what? That's something I haven't thought about. What if she's going to do like a Versace tour costume moment the same way she has before? I know you guys have seen that article about Gaga kind of like being part of the reason why Versace survived as a fashion house. I could see a bespoke Versace costume or even a sponsored by Versace Coachella moment, them doing the costumes, Coachella, Donatella being in attendance for one of the weekends and that being like a surprise song for the weekend where Coachella, why do I keep saying Coachella when I mean to say Donatella? The weekend that Donatella is at Coachella. This is like a, what do you call it, tongue twister. If she is there in person, I could see Gaga doing a bit of the song as a little shout out for her. I think that would be cute. Ariana for Rain on Me. I would love that. I was one of the people that really thought she was going to bring her out at the London Chromatica Ball when Ariana Grande was living in London and Gaga is in London performing Rain on Me and Ariana isn't on stage with her. I could see that, but I don't know. Ariana's so... She's like just released her album, hasn't she? So I don't know if she would want to... I don't know. She could do. It's one of those I think is less likely. I would be here for that. Don't get me wrong. If that happened again, how I would survive that personally, seeing that happen in front of me would be difficult. Like, because again, it's like a peak in life. But I just don't see it as likely. I would almost say Beyonce is more likely to come out than Ariana if I had to predict. Art pop performance with Elton is one of your favorites. Oh yeah, that was lovely as well. Yeah, her Elton moments are really, really nice. Um, oh gosh, the chat has just jumped and I've just noticed I've missed a lot of questions. Sorry. Um, she she needs to do government hooker. She girl, go ahead. Could you imagine the drama? The drama of Lady Gaga performing government hooker when all of this mess is happening with the American government right now. Exquisite. Aren't her and Chapel Roan rumoured to be collaborating soon? That could be fun. I could also see her bringing out a surprise guest who she hasn't got an official track with, because I think she knows that we'd live for that even more. So that could be Chapel Roan. That could be Doechii. Bringing them out to perform one of their songs for her audience. I could see her really, yeah, I could see her doing that because she's been loving like this next gen pop girl support group, hasn't she? So yeah, bringing out one of those girls to do a song, I think I could see that happening. What if she would announce or do something with a remix album of Mayhem? I would love if Gaga did a remix album of Mayhem. So I think I spoke about this in one of my LG7 podcast episodes, but I would be so here for a remix album of Mayhem. And Jade Thirlwall, Jade from Little Mix, needs to be on it if it happens, because she's been working with some of the same producers for her own album as Gaga. So low-key, I could see her closing with Vanish Into You as the promo single. Oh, I would love that. You guys know Vanish Into You is my favourite song from Mayhem. I got my Apple Music stats through today, and my most listened to song is actually Garden of Eden. I've played it a handful of times, more than Vanish Into You. I think Garden of Eden is more fun to listen to, but Vanish Into You like has my heart in a chokehold, so I like it more, even though I've listened to Garden of Eden a bit more. Yeah, I love Vanish Into You. I think it's a discography highlight, so I would so be here for her pushing it as a promo single. I hope she performs Kill for Love. Yeah, that would be really cool. And Can't Stop the High. I actually think I prefer Can't Stop the High to Kill for Love. I think they'd both be really fun Coachella moments for like hardcore Gaga stans. Donatella, more comments about Donatella. I think we need to gaslight the world into making Shallow not one of her biggest songs. It's a really good song. Listen. As someone who is 50% heterosexual, I get why the heterosexual population enjoy that side of Gaga. They really like Shallow. They really like Always Remember Us This Way. They love Die With a Smile. It's because they're brilliant songs. Shallow especially has that kind of... Did you guys put the puzzle pieces together? Some people, when I say this, some of you are going to say, yeah, that's so obvious. And some of you might say, oh, I haven't thought about that until now. But Shallow is foreshadowing what happens at the end of A Star Is Born, where Jackson Maine dies. The lyrics, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in, I'll never meet the ground. There's more to this song, as always. As with so much of Gaga's music, there's these multiple meanings in her lyrics and stuff. Shallow is one of those, and I think Shallow is just a great song. So I get, like, we've all heard it a ton of times. Don't underestimate that moment of her being on stage and the audience singing it back to her. We're all going to be crying in the front row. We're all going to be crying in the first 25 rows. I don't know what I'm saying. It's a great song. I get it. It's very heterosexual. It's not very us, but it's great artistry. Justice for Alejandro and Paparazzi at Chromatica Ball. Alejandro needs to be on the Coachella set list. It needs to be on the Coachella set list. It needs to. Alejandro, I've spoken about this on the episode I did, might be episode 7 of the LG7 podcast, where I had Liz as a guest because it's her favourite song. But I think Alejandro is one of the best pop songs ever made. So yeah, she needs to perform it. Paparazzi also. Some of you are here for Shallow and Always Remember This Way. Some of you, oh gosh, I've lost where we are in the chat again. Sorry, guys. Here we are. I'm back. Versace custom leather jacket is a must. Yes, that would be sick. Like the Born This Way ball costumes. Piano segment, you guys are predicting. Always remember us this way. Oh, my light is turned off, but you can still see me, can't you? Just take that away. Piano segment, always remember us this way. Shallow, The Edge of Glory, and Die With a Smile. I could see that. The Edge of Glory, yeah. I think she's brought back the... Did she perform that recently? Did she perform it at the Fire Aid concert or somewhere fairly recently? I could see The Edge of Glory being there for sure. Your reminder to like the stream. Thank you, guys. Also, your reminder to subscribe if you haven't already. Am I going to both Coachella weekends? No, just weekend one. I am in the UK, so I can't just hop over as much as I would love to. It's a big expense for me to be at Coachella, but I'm very lucky to be able to go. So yeah, weekend one. I had to pick between weekend one or weekend two. There's pros and cons. If you guys have ever thought about doing Coachella, I did all the research before I bought the ticket, so I'll just quickly explain this now for those of you who haven't been before. It's my first Coachella this time as well. So there's pros and cons if you want to go to weekend one and weekend two. Coachella runs for 2 weekends and they're both the exact same lineup. However, there's often different surprise guests on both. So weekend one is when you tend to get press, celebrities, influencers attending the festival. And that has its pros and cons because obviously if you're playing to a crowd of like real music fans who tend to go to weekend two, the response to your set is going to be different, right? Whereas if you're playing to like a crowd of celebrities who are less impressed by things, the atmosphere isn't as like electric maybe. So that's one thing. However, the benefit of going to weekend one is it's a brand new set and you're seeing it live for the first time. Weekend two, you know what to expect. And again, even that's got pros and cons because maybe you want to know what the set list is. So you know what spot you want to stand in front of the stage. Maybe you want to know, I don't know. There's pros and cons to both. But anyway, after assessing all of that, I decided to go to weekend one instead of weekend two so that I can experience the set. No spoilers, just live in front of me, happening, experiencing it for the first time. Similar to how a lot of people want to go to like the opening night of a brand new tour. That's why I decided to go to weekend one. Joanne tracks. What do I think she'll perform from Joanne? Don't hate me. Do not hate me. I hope she doesn't do Million Reasons. I really can live without that. If she's going to do a piano section, there's better songs she can do. What I would personally like to hear from Joanne, the songs I still listen to from Joanne are Diamond Heart, John Wayne, Perfect Illusion, Dancing in Circles, and Angel Down. When I feel a bit sad, I listen to that. I would be here for any of those, but I feel like the last Coachella set was the Joanne set where she did John Wayne, AO, Million Reasons, and I don't really see her bringing that back. I think if she does anything from Joanne, I wouldn't even know. It would probably be Million Reasons is the most likely one, but I really hope she doesn't. Sorry. Technically, the Eternal Sunshine era is done since she dropped the short film. Oh God, I've just lost where we are in the chat again. Here we are. But I still don't see Ariana Grande coming out for Coachella. I agree with you. I just don't see Ariana doing it. Like she's so in her actress bag right now. I think, but I'm not, I like Ariana Grande, but I'm not like a hardcore stan. So I don't really know her behavior like that to be making predictions, but I just feel like it's unlikely. What do you think the surprise that she said she has planned is? Garden of Eden, Vanish Into You music video, or just a surprise guest? I'm even skeptical that she's putting out there that there is a surprise, because I think she just knows when she does that, everyone gets their hopes up and then everyone gets really angry at her when it's not what they wanted it to be. So she could say, oh, there's going to be a surprise. And then if it's not like a deluxe album, if the surprise is just she's wearing a blonde wig or something, like something that she thinks might be surprising for us, the fans always set their expectations way too high. So I think these rumors of there being a surprise at Coachella might not even be legit, personally. Someone else has also said they're here for Jade opening for Gaga on the Mayhem Ball tour. That would be insane. I'm seeing Jade at Mighty Hoopla. It's a very gay festival in the UK this year. I love Jade. I really do. I think she's excellent. So yeah, I'd be so here for Jade opening. You guys agree with what I'm saying about Shallow? The set is only 90 minutes or so. What hits do you think she'll have to cut? I think she'll cut Alejandro and Paparazzi, which is a shame because I really like those songs. Judas as well. There's so many. Listen, we're at a point in Gaga's career. Every album has hits. Even Joanne. They're the ones I mentioned just now. Every album has hits. She can't do them all. It's heartbreaking because they all deserve a spot. But yeah, I think she's going to have to cut out quite a lot. That's why I said earlier, like, I don't think she's going to do tons of art pop. I don't think she's going to do tons of Joanne. I don't think she's going to do tons of Chromatica even. I think if she does anything from Chromatica, she might do Rain on Me. Personally, I'd love a little Replay moment. I don't think she's going to do it though. I would love Replay. Oh my God, if she does Replay at Coachella, I might cry actual tears. We need Alejandro, Judas and Dance in the Dark. All excellent choices. I think she may cut Born This Way. I don't think she will. I think she always makes sure to perform Born This Way at big events because I think she feels it's a responsibility that she has. I think she thinks she has to, and I'm glad that she does because it's a tough time for LGBT, especially trans people right now. So I think Coachella needs to hear Born This Way and the world needs to see on the live stream Gaga doing Born This Way in front of such a big crowd. I think that would be really powerful. I need Edge of Glory, but not on piano. Yeah, I'd love a pop version of it because it's been a while. Heavy Metal Lover. Yeah. All these B-sides that we want, I think she's only going to do a handful. I think she is definitely going to sprinkle 2 or 3 B-side album tracks that she knows the fans really love, whether it's Heavy Metal Lover, Shiza, Replay. Like, she knows there's fan favourites. She's going to do some of them, but I think it'll only be 2 or 3. I hope she brings back the motorcycle for Coachella or the Mayhem Ball, Justice for Heavy Metal Lover. Yeah, the motorcycle was... Can I say the C word on here or will it get upset with me? You know the one I'm referring to. I think weekend 1 will be cooler for you. Everything will be a complete surprise and usually the guests are better on weekend 1. Yeah, I don't know if I forgot to say that, but the guests that go to weekend 1 of Coachella, the surprise guests, tend to be better because, as I say, a lot of them are going to Coachella anyway. So yeah, you're late, you just woke up, but you're here now. It's all good. Perfect Illusion on piano could be fun. Angel Down for sure, especially now. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't think about, obviously, with tough times we're in. Americano as well, speaking of like the government and stuff, I could see her doing Americano, and I definitely think she's going to perform Americano when she does the Latin America shows. Dancing in Circles I would love. Keep AO away, I agree. This set is stunning. This set is stunning is in my set or is in the Coachella stuff we're talking about? If you're talking about this backdrop, thank you. Happy Mistake, Harlequin tracks. You know what? I didn't even think about Harlequin, but you're so right. Harlequin has my heart. I don't think she'll do Happy Mistake, but I could see her doing like a weird mashup of like That's Entertainment or That's Life with Killer or like one of those tracks, like just something a little bit quirky and odd. I could see her doing something unexpected. Disease and It Girl are like cousins. I agree. The minute I heard It Girl, I was like, it's giving Disease. And then I think its Circuit has produced both Disease and It Girl. We're talking about Jade again. So yeah, they are like cousins because I think they're the same producer, but I agree with you. I get the same vibe when I hear them. It Girl and Disease are both songs like you want your headphones on really loud and you want like a public place to walk in and stomp very fast. Like both of them are that kind of vibe, those songs. Gaga's Coachella set is at 8 a.m. in Italy. God, I've seen people saying what time they've got to wake up to live stream it and stuff. I feel like most of Europe, you guys should be up for work and school and stuff anyway, though, no? Someone was like, how am I going to get up at 7 a.m.? She will do Judas and Bloody Mary. Yeah, Bloody Mary, I didn't even think about. Yeah, you guys are right. Bloody Mary. Yeah, she kind of has to, doesn't she? She has to do Bloody Mary. Judas has now outstreamed Born This Way on Spotify. That's interesting. I still think she's more likely to perform more likely to perform Born This Way than Judas. I would love it if she does do Judas, but I just don't think there's a possibility of her cutting Born This Way from the set list. I feel like if she's going to go with the Mayhem aesthetic, maybe World on a String or the Joker. The Joker could be really cool, but I don't know, because it's just so explicit with the title of the movie being Joker and then her on stage going, the Joker is me. I feel like she just doesn't want to open up like that discussion again. World on a String I love. World on a String, I don't know if I said this before, but of all of the songs on Harlequin, World on a String feels like one that she was just like born to cover. I think she just really does an incredible job of that song. Does anyone think Gaga will perform Can't Stop the High at the Mayhem Ball? Yeah, she could do. She really could. Can't Stop the High is a great song. I think I said this already, but it's my favourite of the two bonus tracks. Cool. I think I'm updated with the chat, but I'll check in again later. So what else did I have to say? The only thing I had left in my bullet points of things to talk about from Coachella was, do we think she'll keep the same set and show for Coachella as she will the rest of the Latin America shows? I think we're going to get a version of Coachella in Rio, in Mexico, in Singapore. I don't think it will be the exact same. I think she's going to swap some songs out. And I don't want to say Coachella she's going to go bigger for, but I just have a feeling like she's going to put like 100% into every one of those shows, and then Coachella she's going to put in like 110%. Don't hate me. I just have a feeling Coachella's going to be a bit more special. But no, they're going to be, it's not going to be more special. It's just going to be special in a different way. Because Coachella is a dream. Rio is somewhere she hasn't been in years. Mexico City she hasn't been in years. They're all different vibes. It's going to be very emotional when she goes back to these countries that she hasn't been to for years. But yeah, I think in terms of the actual set list, I think we're going to get variations. Okay, let's finally talk about the Mayhem tour. I think we've discussed Coachella a lot. So if there's any more questions or things you guys want to talk about Coachella, we'll come back to that at the end. But we need to talk about the Mayhem tour because when is there not drama in this fan base? Oh my goodness, it's never ending, I swear. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? The announcement. There's meltdowns about the tour poster. There's meltdowns that she's doing arenas and not stadiums. There's meltdowns that the London and US dates are floor seats and not general admission standing. I was one of those people that melted down about that personally. Meltdowns about the tour being rushed. I think every single element, at least somebody had something negative to say, which is such a shame. It's such a shame because I do think Mayhem is one of her best albums. I think it's one of her most exciting eras, and I think it's an era where she wants to give back to the fans. You're right, I forgot to say the price is something else people were melting down about, and rightly so. But yeah, there's been a lot, and there's a lot to look forward to. I'm personally really excited to get to see Gaga multiple times this year. Coachella, Mayhem Ball. I'm doing 2 shows. I'm doing the Thursday show, which I believe is night 3 of London. I've got floor seats front row of section C2 on the map. And then I've also got Golden Circle early entry for Antwerp in Belgium. So I'll be at 2 shows for the Mayhem Ball. If I can get some cheap seats for opening night in London, or actually any of the other London shows, I will also be at that. But I think the chances of me getting a seat for less than £220 is very unlikely. Even the resale prices are bad. Like, because she's in such demand, the resale prices are really bad. But yeah, so she's announced dates in America and in Europe, and she's coming back to countries again that she hasn't been to since the Art Rave, which is really exciting for those fans. The negative, I don't even know how to talk about this, you guys, because I'm so happy that she's touring. I'm genuinely very excited, and I'm actually here for arenas. The only part I don't like about arenas is how competitive it is to buy tickets, which I am going to talk about that whole ticket drama soon, but that's the only negative for me. In fact, before the show was announced, I swear to God, the night before, I don't know if I'll have time to get the message up, I literally texted my best friend who I met at the Born This Way ball, and I said to her, whenever she announces the tour, like, we're going, obviously, but I said no, it's going to be too long for me to scroll back, but I said word for word, we took it for granted at Art Rave having so many shows happening that we could afford to have a show where we just dance at the back and not worry about getting front row, not worry about queuing, not worrying about getting the most VIP thing and trying to get Gaga to notice you in the crowd and all that. Like, just having like a show where you can go, turn up late, dance at the back and just enjoy the energy. Because I think when we had the Chromatica Ball, she did a few select stadium shows. For me, it felt like if I didn't camp and queue and get front row, I was making less of the experience, right? I've paid for my VIP ticket in London. She's doing 2 London shows, 1 Paris show. So that's what I did for Chromatica. I got front row when I could. If I don't camp and queue and make the best of that experience, it felt like I was wasting the opportunity. But with the Art Rave, she did such a block of shows all over the UK, all over Europe, all over America. There were multiple chances to see her. So I did like 4 Art Rave shows, and I know people that did like 10 Art Raves. And when you're going to that many shows, it's not every night trying to get front row, trying to get Gaga to make eye contact with you and all that. Like, it's just, you can have a show where it's like, I'm just here to vibe and have fun. And it feels like when you've got just 1 or 2 shows that you can go to, there's almost like, you don't want to waste the opportunity to like get really close and see her up close. Hope that makes sense. I know I've been like rambling about that for a minute now, but I was manifesting arenas basically, and then it was announced and she was doing arenas and I was really happy. The only thing I wasn't happy about was capacity, being how competitive it was going to be to get tickets. I was really happy. I was like, great, she's going to be at the O2 in London. I can go. The minute she announced it, I was like, let me do all of the London dates, all of the Manchester dates. I'll be there. I'm going to just get general admission, standing ticket, stand at the back for a couple of them. Even if I do one show in the nosebleeds, I'm just happy to be there. Then the seating map is revealed. And my plans gone. Because there is no standing at the back, you stupid slut. There is no standing. It's all floor seats. You guys, I've been tested this week. I posted on TikTok, I was like, I don't get why we're doing floor seats because I want to stand up and dance. The amount of people in my comments that said, why don't you just stand up? Guys, I've literally been dealing with people in my comments telling me I can stand up and I don't have to sit in a chair, as if I had never thought that before, that I can stand up. It's been crazy. There has been non-stop stupidity all over the place. Probably from me as well. I've been quite stupid probably. But there has just been nonsense mayhem, chaos everywhere. Um, it's been messy. But yeah, however, I knew going into these ticket sales it was going to be competitive, and I think we all did because they are arenas and not stadiums. The stadium shows, Chromatica, that was competitive enough. Even that, to get tickets for that, not for everybody, but a lot of people struggled to get the tickets they wanted for the Chromatica ball. For Mayhem, now, wild. I have never experienced such a shit show in my life. Like, the pre-sale, first of all. AXS as a company can rot. Ticketmaster can rot and Live Nation can rot, but AXS has to rot first. It has to be the first one we take down. It has to. Ticketmaster and Live Nation, they had no non-VIP tickets. Or they did, but they were very limited. So I, in the pre-sale, my friend bought our Belgium Golden Circle early entry ticket in Europe. Great. I bought the London tickets that we bought. I paid £300 each to sit at the front row of section C2. So, oh my God, I'm going to have to draw you guys a diagram, okay? So let's draw the Mayhem Ball stage. So the Mayhem Ball looks like a wine glass. And there's a little bean at the end. That is the Mayhem Ball stage. You've got these sections on the floor are the A sections. You've got these are the B sections. This is just for London, by the way. And then you've got these three sections here as C. Okay. So, these tickets here, front row at these A and B sections nearest the stage, 1,061 Great British pounds each. Crazy money. To sit a couple of rows behind, I think vary from maybe 400 to 600. I bought tickets at the very front of this C section here. So me and my friends are going to be in the middle, and we are 7 rows away from the stage because we have the entire B block in front of us. They cost me £300 each, and we got those in the pre-sale. So that actually was a good deal. I didn't think it was at the time because I knew AXS had some floor seats in these other sections. People have bought floor seats here that got very lucky for less than what I paid. I think I've seen someone pay £160, so nearly half of what I paid to sit around here somewhere. So the tickets existed, but there were just such a limited number of them because so many were put as VIP packages and so many were put as MasterCard preferred price packages. So that, yeah, the prices have been a mess. At least my ticket comes with some sort of VIP stuff. So I get merch, I get VIP concierge or something. Not that I've ever used that. I don't really even know what it is, to be honest. I think it would just be someone, they just add it as an add-on. It means you have someone there, like a chaperone or something. The general sale comes around and I'm like, right, I'm going to try just for a cheap seat on my own. I'm not even trying to sit with my friends. I'm trying to get me, one individual person, a seat in the nosebleeds for less than £100. I have never failed at buying tickets I want, and I failed, guys. It was traumatic. But while I was there, remember, I paid, I know I keep showing you this, I paid £300 to sit in the C section. I saw tickets going for over £100 more than I paid to sit in the row behind me on Ticketmaster. The price gouging, if that's how you fucking pronounce the word, is disgusting. It actually should make you feel sick. it should. How is it fair that I have paid less than somebody for a better spot? Somebody sat behind me has paid more. I'm getting VIP stuff, I'm getting merch. They're getting a regular seat without any VIP package, and they're sat behind me and they paid more than me. That is unacceptable. And I think it does come to a point, sadly, where, you know, we can blame the ticket companies, but we have to also be like, Gaga management, House of Gaga, whoever it is, the label, whoever makes money from this, they need to be held accountable too, because it's just not fair. It's really not fair that the fans have to pay that to have a worse experience, I think. So yeah, that's been one thing. The standing up, the lack of standing up in London and Manchester is sad for me, because I did want to have like a party. I probably won't get like a general admission ticket anywhere because I'll have to fly to Europe somewhere for that, and I'm already flying to Belgium to get my early entry thing. But guys, it's been a struggle. And again, I say this as a fan. I say this as somebody who is very excited to see the tour. It's a shame. It's a massive, massive shame how some of this has worked out. So somebody's put, wait, so you can't get merch unless you're VIP. No, that's not what I meant to say. Sorry if I wasn't very clear. My ticket is a VIP package, so I get a merch item included in my package. There will be merch that you can buy at the show, but my ticket comes with something. Hope that's clear. Someone said, you're sat in section 104 for Manchester, along the sides towards the back for almost £300. It's crazy. Yeah, it's disgusting, these prices. I'm sorry. Like, I love Gaga. You guys know I love her. I spent hours and hours of my life talking about her, listening to her, making costumes to go to her shows in, like buying her merch. I'm a fan for life. That is fucked up. It's very fucked up, the pricing. Ticketmaster needs to be accountable. Live Nation needs to be accountable. AXS needs to be accountable. AXS especially for kicking real fans out when they're not bots, they're not scalpers, they're real fans trying to buy tickets. There has to be, in 2025, a better way of determining whether the person buying a ticket is a human, is a real fan, or is a robot, than just kicking people out at whim. It's disgusting. They need to be held accountable for that. But some accountability needs to go to Gaga as well, because if she was that concerned, she would have said to Live Nation, I'm not doing this tour unless there's affordable tickets for my fans. The affordable tickets in questions existed, but they were snapped up in seconds because there were so few of them, and because AXS and Ticketmaster can just up the price whenever they want to. Probably 20 people managed to get the cheapest tickets without paying any extra. I'm making that up. I'm saying 20, but anyway. Now that we've got that negative stuff out the way, let's focus on something good. The set list. I think all of our discussions we just had about the set list on Coachella, coming back to that, I think, yeah, the set for the Mayhem Ball is going to be more Mayhem focused. I think at Coachella, she wants to do a good job and please people generally. At the Mayhem Ball, she's going to want to, put on a show for her fans, her really big fans. Doing festivals and doing a headline tour is a different kind of set list, I think. And I know some of you are probably thinking, like the really OG fans are probably thinking right now, well, she kept her Monster Ball set the same when she did festivals. That was before we had the wide discography that Gaga has now. I know she performed the Monster Ball show at Lollapalooza. Yeah, we've come a long way since then. I think she's doing a different set for Coachella than she will do at the Mayhem Ball tour. I think they're going to be different. There's also rumours that she's going to announce Australia, New Zealand, and more Latin America next year. I hope she does, because I think as many people need an opportunity to see her in concert as possible, because I know I have a ton of privilege being a fan in the UK. Whenever she tours, pretty much guaranteed she'll come to London. I'm 30 minutes from London, so I'm very lucky in that respect. And I understand not everybody is as lucky as I am. So yeah, if she's doing Australia, that would be amazing for all of those fans. New Zealand, more Latin America. I'd love for her to do more Asia dates because I know she's only doing Singapore. Would be great for her to go to so many countries that she hasn't been back to since the Born This Way ball. I know there's tons of places she hasn't been back to. I think like South Africa and so many places she hasn't been to in a long time. And someday in Jakarta would be great. So it'd be interesting to see if, more dates for the Mayhem Ball come out. There's one more dramatic thing I need to talk about, guys. There is a lot of discourse online and a little bit in my TikTok comments as well about fans doing multiple shows. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I feel like I don't want us to be so negative on this. We've got so much to look forward to. You know, brand new Coachella show next week, brand new tour. There's going to be tons of costumes and performances and like vocals and so much to discuss and obsess over. Like, it's a really positive time. Let's just get this negativity out the way and then we can just leave it here and not come back to it. There's been some negativity towards fans doing multiple shows and I don't think it's fair, personally. But I get it because I used to think that way. When I got into Gaga really young, okay? So I was 11 or so when Just Dance came out and I liked her instantly. But I wasn't really old enough to go to a show and do the queuing thing until the Born This Way ball. So I saw the Monster Ball tour. I didn't see the Fame Ball because in the UK, the Fame Ball was her opening for other artists that I didn't want to see. It was Take That, who I didn't want to see. And Pussycat Dolls, I actually did like the Pussycat Dolls, but I don't think I realised I could go and see her on the Pussycat Dolls tour. And then her other Fame Ball shows, if she ever did any more, it would have been in clubs and I would have been too young to go. So I didn't go to the Fame Ball, but the Monster Ball I did go to. My parents took me to see the Monster Ball. And then the Born This Way ball, my mum took me. And that was the first show where I was like old enough to like queue all day and do all of that thing, like met people, made friends, all of that stuff. Where am I going with this? I've forgotten. What am I talking about? Doing multiple shows. Okay. Born This Way ball, I think, was the first time I'd even heard of people doing multiple shows of the same concert. For some reason, it didn't even compute that you can see the same show twice. So yeah. At the time, when I first was like in that world of proximity to Gaga, let's call it, I'm in the queue with people who have met Gaga. I'm in the queue with people who wait outside her hotel. I'm in the queue with people who have had photos with Gaga. At that age, for me, that is like my biggest dream in life. And I can't even like comprehend that people get to do that. Because it's like unthinkable for me. And I want to do that so badly. But yeah. So there's people doing multiple shows. There's people that meet her all the time. There is like a negative feeling in the queue for this concert around like, how is it fair that the people at the front of the queue have been queuing for a week and they get to be in front of me in the queue? How is that fair? I have a job. I have to go to school. At the time, I felt like that because I was somebody in the queue who couldn't have queued for a week. I couldn't have not gone to school to wait in line for Lady Gaga and got the Monster Pit key and met her. I couldn't have done that. So I felt jealous, like everybody did, of the people in the front of the queue. As I've gotten older, I've just kind of realised, you know what? Respect for them, actually, because that's just how they decide to spend their time. Having that opportunity to do that kind of stuff doesn't take it away from me. It doesn't take it away from anybody. They are doing it for them. And actually, the people that are doing those things, multiple shows, meeting her all the time, yes, in an ideal, perfect world, everybody would get a chance to meet Gaga, have pictures with her, go to tons of shows. And the reality is not everybody will, or not everybody can. But the people who do get to do those kinds of things, people that get to do that, I don't think it's productive or fair to be sending like anger and stuff towards them. I really don't, because at the end of the day, they've been fans for a long, long time, spent a hell of a lot of money to be able to do that, and that's their choice. So the problem I have with the people on Twitter that I've seen saying it's like very greedy to go to 4 or 6 or 10 or even 14 Mayhem shows. I've seen people saying that's so greedy. You're a bad person. How dare you? You're taking opportunities from other people. I've seen a lot of that kind of sentiment, and I just don't think it's fair, because I think everyone that's saying that would do the same if they had the money and the means to do so. If you didn't have to be at work, if you didn't have to be taking care of your family, if you didn't have to be at school, you would be doing the exact same thing as them. So I don't think it's fair to be sending hatred and abuse and trolling these people. It's just what they've chosen to do with their money. I don't hate on people that have got tons of designer clothes and tons of bags because I want them. I just kind of go, look, some people are rich and I'm not that rich, and I just have to accept it and move on, because you can drive yourself crazy with this stuff. It's the same thing as, I don't know if you guys remember when she did the Harlequin listening party. There was a lot of fans outside, myself included, that didn't get to go inside the party, and a lot of fans who did get to go inside. And I know most of them who got to go inside. And I think some of the people that didn't get in were very frustrated, because they're like, look, it's always the same people that get to go to these things. It's always, when will it be my turn kind of thing. And I get it. It would be nice. It would be nice. I wanted to be there too, very badly. I would drive myself mental if I couldn't move past that. You just have to accept it. Accepting that the world is not fair and equal and lovely will set you free. And I said the same thing on TikTok. As soon as you kind of go, right, I'm disappointed that I didn't get the same opportunity as that person. However, this is where we're at. This is the reality. Feel sad if you want to feel sad, but move on. That is the best way to process your feelings. Do not start attacking people who have got the opportunity that you want. It's not productive. It won't make you feel better. It really won't. And the last thing I wanted to say was, even though a lot of the time, often it is the same people who have met Gaga a lot of times, gone to shows a lot of times, always having the same opportunity, in a sense, do you not think they kind of deserve it? It's frustrating to see the same people over and over again, but they have, at the end of the day, prioritize spending their money on Gaga over other things. So we can be disappointed. It's not us. And people are even disappointed in me that I'm doing 2 shows when there's people out there doing 14. I've had people in my TikTok comments telling me I need to tell everyone that I'm greedy. I don't really care. I just said I'm greedy then. If that makes me greedy, I'm greedy. That's fine. But it's not productive to be nasty towards other people. And I won't ever, co-sign that. I just don't think it's fair. And I think, people always love to say Gaga would hate this if she saw this. And I just think at the end of the day, we're all fans. Gaga doesn't actually know. To say Gaga would hate this behaviour or Gaga would hate that behaviour. Like, I saw someone tell someone else who was doing a lot of shows, Gaga would hate that you're taking opportunities from other fans. We don't know Gaga personally, so we don't know how she feels about it, actually. It's the reality. But yeah, that's that negative stuff closed. Let me just quickly check the chat, because I've seen comments come through, but I haven't really read anything. And then let's move on to something positive before I wrap up. People spending a lot of money. I wish she'd come back to Glasgow. She hasn't been here since the art rave. I hate when they say it's a world tour and they only do London or Manchester. Yeah. I'm surprised she's not doing at least one Scotland date, like, but I guess she just assumed you guys will travel, which is annoying. Same with Ireland as well. There's a seat on resale for 160. If I can, thing is, I'm quite far from Manchester. Someone has found me a ticket in Manchester, which is very lovely. I think it's quite far. By the time I spend on train travel and hotel for Manchester, it would have been probably cheaper for me to pay more for a London ticket. So I'm going to hold out if I can. And yeah, the other thing I didn't mention is that the American prices were even worse than the UK prices, which is crazy. I've been lucky enough to see Gaga 6 times, but this is the first time I've been able to go on the floor. I can't do standing as I've been crushed before, so I'm scared of doing it again. Oh, well, that's nice for you that you get to experience being on the floor with everybody. I'm excited for you. I think, yeah, there's obviously pros and cons to floor seats, but for me, I personally prefer the general admission standing. But it is nice that, yeah, you're going to have a bit of space with the floor seats being structured the way they are, so that's good. Especially with the tariffs happening, yeah, I'm sure that's affecting prices. It's a shame to see Gaga agree to dynamic pricing. I agree. Last time Lady Gaga was in the Philippines was during the Born This Way ball where you were 11 years old. My gosh, that is a long, long time ago. I hope she comes back to the Philippines and all of these countries that she hasn't been to in so long. I wish veteran fans would stop judging new monsters on attending. Yeah, I think we should just all get along, personally. I haven't seen that as much. I've seen more disagreement over people doing multiple shows rather than people saying, like, new fans can't come. I've seen a little bit of people saying, like, they should have a separate pre-sale for veteran fans, which I kind of agree with. I don't know about separate sale, but just, like, some kind of priority access for real fans. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I've been a fan for this many years, but it has to be certainly, I know all of the songs on the album, for example, something like that. It's a privilege to go to multiple Gaga shows, but let's be real, if every monster had the funds and time to go to like 10 shows, you would. Yeah, I think people would. I really do. I think whenever people see someone else doing multiple shows and they get angry, it's jealousy. I really do. I'm sorry. I know that's a controversial thing to say, but I think it's just jealousy. Again, blaming individuals instead of billion-dollar corporations for price gouging. Yeah, that's the thing. Ticketmaster need to be accountable. AXS and Live Nation need to be accountable. Gaga should also be accountable as the artist, as the talent. She has got some sway in those ticket prices, so I think she does need to be accountable there. Someone else has said, I think hate comes from all sides. Veterans who hate on the new fans and the new fans who hate on the older fans. If anyone knows what Lady Gaga stands for, it's love. We can't be hating on each other. Couldn't agree more with you. Yeah, everyone just needs to chill out. Be happy that we're getting a tour. Be happy that we're getting Coachella. Be happy that there's so much exciting stuff coming. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time, no matter what, whether you're sat in the back or you've paid for a front row VIP package, whatever you can afford. If you're going, it's going to be a great time. So we should just focus on the good things. I want to share my unluckiest moment this year. Gaga will be in Singapore the exact same week I'll be in Japan with my family. So you didn't get to buy tickets. Oh, that's really gutting. That's really gutting. I'm really hoping she does more Asia shows next year, so you get to go. That would be really good. I paid $1,800 for the premium VIP hospitality package, no regrets. Good for you. I think it'll be great. Listen, the Mayhem Ball is going to be incredible. When has Gaga ever put on a bad show? Like, think about it. She doesn't do that. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking to be a little bit shady right now about a certain residency in a certain city in America. But I would even say that was still a great show. It maybe had its moments. Gaga herself as a performer is still an incredible once in a lifetime, once in a generation kind of artist. So to get to go to her show at all will be amazing. So I'm excited for all of us. Everyone that got to, access to tickets, we're all very lucky. And if you didn't get tickets, I think it's just a case of setting in your head like a budget of what's the top level you want to be able to spend, and then trying to get a resale. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, look, if I get no tickets in the general sales or the pre-sales, I will just pay whatever I have to on StubHub, so I can be there. Just sadly, with the prices of these tickets, I can only do this many shows when I wanted to originally do like this many shows. It's fine. At least I get to go at all. Enigma Supremacy. Yeah, Enigma was a good show. This is the thing. Hello, if you've just joined. If you've missed it, I'm doing night 3 in London and the Belgium show. Opening night in Vegas, I'm jealous of anybody doing that, because I think, again, it's that same... It's always so exciting when she does a new tour. I remember being on Twitter during the first opening show of the Born This Way ball and like refreshing my feed and seeing like people posting pictures of the new costumes, like blurry pictures from the screen of her in like the white dress. And she had like because she started the Born This Way ball in Asia. It might have been Seoul in South Korea, and she had like the 2 pigtails, and it was so fierce. Yeah, a new tour is always really exciting to be part of the fan base and be like online with everybody when that's happening, but to be there in person has got to be even more magical. So yeah, opening night in Vegas will be amazing. Lucky you. I'm going to wait for people to upload the full show on YouTube and have my own mayhem ball at home. I love that. You know what we need to do is like the Gaga listening parties they have here in the UK. There's a company that do live Gaga events where it's like a club night and they just play Gaga all night. We need that, but like with her tour stuff would be really good. I was saying when I went to West Hollywood last year, I went to a gay bar and they were playing like the latest episode of Drag Race, and it was like being in a sports bar. So the way that straight people go to the pub and watch football together and drink and cheer at the screen when their team scores, the gays were doing that for Drag Race during the lip sync. It was the most fierce thing I've ever seen. Like just all these gay people in a bar watching Drag Race together and like cheering with their drinks in the air as if it was like a football game. We need stuff like that. We need more like gay IRL community presence at events. I think that'd be amazing. Can I just say, since you've started your podcast before Mayhem, I've always thought you're so pretty, and hearing you talk is so soothing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you're still here. I'm hoping you're liking the new podcast. I wanted to have more episodes of Starstruck out by now, but it's just been busy because I've been doing all of my Coachella outfits and things like that. Need the pigtails back. Yeah. The pigtails were amazing at the Born This Way ball. They looked so good, but I think she only kept them for like a couple of the Asia shows before she switched to like the high ponytail, just 1 instead of 2. I was so lucky to see the Monster Ball in Glasgow. The opening of that show was by far my favourite concert ever. Well, yeah, because you would have gotten the first show of the Monster Ball 2.0, which I went to that tour. I went to the Birmingham show on the 5th of March, and that was my first ever time seeing Gaga in concert. Saw her for the first time 15 years ago. So it's the same, it might be the same for you. Your show would have been 15 years ago as well. Yeah, the Monster Ball was an incredible show, and in some ways I don't know if she's beaten the Monster Ball, because it was just such a perfect all-round 10 out of 10 pop show. It had everything. Had a campy storyline, had a brilliant set list, had incredible costumes, really looks that felt instantly iconic. It felt very Gaga. It felt like you were immersed in the world of Gaga. It was like, it had that community feeling to it that a lot of her shows have, where you feel like you're in the room with like-minded people. Yeah, the Monster Ball was a really special moment in time, honestly. Any new fans watching this that haven't watched the Monster Ball DVD, like, make sure you do that. It's a career highlight of Gaga's, honestly. We have that in my city. It's called Radio Gaga and it's fabulous once or twice a month. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm so here for like more in-person events that get the fans together. Really, I am. I loved your LGCU episode. What a deep dive. Yeah. That was a big deep dive. I want to do more things like that. I really do. I want to do an episode of this podcast of Starstruck where I do like an album ranking of all of the Gaga albums. I don't know if I might. I feel like I've talked so much about like my theories on her storyline and stuff. So I don't know if you guys are interested in more of that or not, but yeah, I have a lot of plans for this podcast. I'm also going to eventually, once I've done a few more episodes, I'm going to get some guests and things like that, because I know some of you quite liked the different guests I had on my other podcast. I still want to do that, have a mix of like just me talking like this, but then sometimes get like another person or two people in, so there's, you know, different voices to bounce off and things like that. I think is always fun to keep it fresh. What's my favourite tour look of all time? Without a doubt, and it's not even close, it's the living dress from the Monster Ball. The Monster Ball was my first ever Gaga live experience. It will never be beaten for me. So yeah, 15 years ago, like me. That was amazing. Do you think that she'll release another music video from Mayhem? I hope so, and I hope it's for Vanish Into You, but I truly know that whatever other visuals we get for Mayhem will be mind-blowing. So it can be any song and I wouldn't care. I would just be here for it. Even if it's The Beast. The Beast is my least favourite. Even if she did a visual for that, I would still be here for it. Question. It's the first time I got tickets on Ticketmaster and I wonder, should I wait till the resale tickets go lower to exchange tickets for better seating? Ooh, I don't know, friend. I don't see them going tons lower, I'll be honest, because the tour starts, July? So we've only got a few months. So basically, the period between now and the tour starting, they might go slightly lower, but they might not because capacity is so limited. But the minute the show starts and we start seeing videos and everything on social media of the show, there's going to be a re-peak and people trying to buy tickets. So the demand is going to go up again. So I don't really know. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not helpful, but you're my favourite little monster. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. I feel like had the Chromatica Ball stage been better, it could have been up there with her best tours like Monster Ball and Art Rave. I agree. The Chromatica Ball was really let down by the stage because it's a flawless show. As like, to watch the DVD, the film that she released of the Chromatica Ball is flawless. Being there in person, if you weren't front row, it wasn't as good an experience as her other tours, I would say. And that's nothing on Gaga as a performer, that's on the planning and the layout of the show. So yeah, I agree with that comment wholeheartedly. You're so articulate and speak so much sense when it comes to all things Gaga. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Was anyone else really disappointed that the Monster Ball, the HBO special, cut out so much of the show? They completely cut out the opening, which to me is a hate crime. Yeah, that opening was fierce. Luckily, we've obviously got all of the interludes from Show Studio on YouTube. I don't know if they're still up, but if not, someone's archived them. So at least they're not lost to history. But yeah, it would have been nice to have them be a bit more part of the final edit. When do I think the deluxe is coming, if ever? So I personally don't think there is a deluxe coming. But again, as I say, I'm always like here and there with these things. Sometimes I think I know Gaga very well and I have a gut feeling, and then like I'm usually right until the Mayhem era, and then the Mayhem era I've been wrong about so much. So there might be a deluxe, but I don't think there is personally. But if there is, and if it is coming, it will probably be, where are we now? April. I could see it being like a surprise, like drop after her Coachella performance. I could see it being just before the tour starts to like differentiate between Coachella, Rio, Mexico, Singapore, break, Mayhem Deluxe, and then Mayhem Ball with like a couple of those new deluxe songs could be a nice way to do it. I don't know though. I don't know if it's coming. Shadow of a Man is my favourite track of Mayhem. Yeah, it's an incredible song. We've got Dream Rollout for the rest of Mayhem. Zombie Boy during Coachella. I'm guessing that's a performance you would like. How Bad Do You Want Me remix with Taylor as a Droplet single. Vanish Into You, and then close the era off with Shadow of a Man. Yeah, they would all be great. I don't know. You guys know I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, really, but it would be a fierce moment in pop history. Always here for like women collaborations. Always be really cool. Am I the only one that feels like a part 2 is in the works for next year? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about there being like a part 2 to the tour, where this year she's going to do arenas and then next year she's going to come back and do stadiums. Don't know about that, but I could see her doing more dates and more countries and continents next year. Why do you think Gaga went for the Mayhem Ball design, catwalk and kidney bean? Do you think it has a meaning? Okay, so let's look at this again. I think why we've got this stage is because she knows the Chromatica Ball, we didn't like that she didn't use the catwalks enough. She knows that the art rave, we liked that she would come out into the crowd on the catwalks, which she sort of tried to emulate a little bit for Joanne, but it wasn't as good as the art rave. I think this stage is actually very similar to the Monster Ball stage. Obviously, the Monster Ball at the end of the catwalk was like a circle with a platform that rose up, similar to Sabrina Carpenter's current stage. Hers is a heart, Gaga's was just a circle. I don't know if there's a meaning with it looking like a wine glass as much as just it's a means for her to be able to go out and perform more into the crowd and not just for the people at the front. That's what I think. I can see why they shortened the Dance in the Dark part from a concert film perspective. Didn't she even shorten Dance in the Dark after the first 2011 shows? We're talking about the Monster Ball. I don't remember if she did shorten Dance in the Dark, but I only went to the early shows of the Monster Ball 2.0, so I can't really speak to that. Someone's put they want a music video for Garden of Eden. Yeah, me too. As I say, Garden of Eden is my most listened to track from Mayhem last month, according to Apple Music. I saw someone say the Mayhem Ball stage looks like a lobotomy chisel, and now I can't unsee it. I'm gonna need to Google that, my friend, because I'm seeing a wine glass. Mayhem has so many single-worthy tracks. It does. The stage is like Born This Way, Ball meets the Monster Ball. Yeah, I see that. I see what you mean. I think it's very similar to the Monster Ball. Yeah, which gives me hope. It makes me think that we're going to get an incredible tour. I really think we will. I'll stay online for like a couple more minutes in case anyone else has any more questions, but I'm going to be wrapping up really soon. Before we go, I thought it would also be fun to talk about predictions for the next single, if there is going to be one, which I know we've already kind of been talking about in the chat a little bit. I think, yeah, as you guys say, I agree with you. There's so many songs that would make a really good single on Mayhem. Is someone home? No? Sorry, I thought my fiance had come home. Let me just open my phone and look at the track list so I can see what songs I would like to be a single. It's easier when it's right in front of you. Oh my god, you guys, look what I did as well. I made a playlist on my Apple Music. It's called Deep Gar. I've just doxed my own name, that's fine. It's called Deep Gar, where I've only put non-singles of Gaga songs. So I've got Summer Boy, So Happy I Could Die, Diamond Heart, Dancing in Circles, Vanish Into You, Zombie Boy, Garden of Eden, Shadow of a Man, Replay, Babylon, Monster, Starstruck, Boys, 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 Paper Gangster and The Fame. I just wanted a playlist where I could listen to the songs that were like non-singles, more of like the hardcore B-sides, inspired by that little chat we had a few months ago about the idea of Gaga doing like a B-sides tour. I put that playlist together. I've been quite enjoying that. If anyone wants to copy my playlist, feel free, because it's full of bangers, actually. Okay, so Mayhem next single we were going to talk about, weren't we? Let me just get Mayhem up on here and have a quick look at what I think would make the best single. I mean, she kind of killed it choosing Disease and Abracadabra to be singles, right? They're both amazing. Garden of Eden would be amazing. Perfect Celebrity would be really cool. I don't see as much commercial success for Perfect Celebrity, but I personally would love it. Vanish Into You, I see being a movie moment. I think it needs to be... You know what I'm upset about? And I only mentioned this briefly in one of my TikToks, so I can't be surprised that it didn't gain traction and come to fruition. But has anyone been watching Severance? I need someone to make an edit of Mark and Gemma from Severance to Vanish Into You. I just need that. I need to see it. And I've got too much to do at the minute with my Coachella outfits and everything, so I don't have time. But someone please do that. Killer, I love, but I don't see it being a single. Zombie Boy would be a really fun single. Zombie Boy is crazy because it grows on you so much. There's so many songs on Mayhem where I'm like, if I listen to the album in full, like if you just say the title to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I like it. And then I listen to it, and during the song, I'm like, oh my God, this is so enjoyable. It sparks, it's like serotonin listening to these songs. It's amazing. And Zombie Boy is one of those. Love Drug has grown on me a lot in the past week. Don't know if I can see it being a single. Feels more like a promo single moment to me than an official single. How Bad Do You Want Me obviously has been taking TikTok by storm. Don't Call Tonight I don't think would be a very strong single. Shadow of a Man I think would be quite a strong single. The Beast probably not. Blade of Grass I could see the Die With a Smile, Shallow, Straight People fans really enjoying. And then yeah, that's it other than the bonus tracks. Next single out of all of those, most likely then probably Garden of Eden, Vanish Into You. Third place, Shadow of a Man, maybe, for what I think would be the most likely singles. But I would be happy with any of them, truly. Mayhem's just a brilliant album. You guys are saying it's a throw up between Garden of Eden and Vanish Into You, maybe Zombie Boy. Yeah, you guys agree with me. Vanish Into You or Garden of Eden. She's pushing for the darker tracks to be the vibe she promotes, especially with the black hair and the gothic outfits. Yeah, you know what? I don't think, weirdly, the aesthetic of Mayhem really matches the music very much. But I love the aesthetic, but listening to the songs, it like feels different somehow. She'll be crazy but smart to do How Bad Do You Want Me? Yeah, I agree. I think the most probable next single is Vanish Into You or Zombie Boy. If it's Shadow of a Man, I hope she does like a 15-minute music video. That would be sick. That'd be really cool. Zombie Boy gives flash mob vibes. Yeah, that's cool. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Like out of nowhere, we about to be up all night. How Bad Do You Want Me isn't necessarily the best song off of Mayhem, but it has the biggest potential for success. If she releases a remix with Taylor, she doesn't need to promote it to go number one. Yeah, anything she does with Taylor would go to number one, basically, wouldn't it? Vanish Into You isn't confirmed from the sticker on the CDs. Yeah, that's true, actually. I forgot. The album packaging sort of suggested Vanish Into You was going to be the next single, didn't it? Vanish Into You is my favourite, so I would be here for that. Really want a Vanish Into You music video, but How Bad cameo with Taylor would be telephone level of insane. Yeah, I hope if they did do that, it would be... It's hard to say because I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. But if she did it, I hope she would do it big and properly. I would be more here for like a newer feature, like someone like Chapel Roan or Sabrina or Olivia Rodrigo on like... Imagine like Olivia Rodrigo on Perfect Celebrity like something like that would be really cool. But yeah, I would personally prefer like one of the newer girls, or like Doechii, like a Doechii verse on something. What would she do a verse on? Doechii on like a Shadow of a Man remix would be really cool. I don't know if you guys know her song Persuasive, with more of that like housey sound. Like Doechii can do a lot of genres in the same way. Venus would have been a single according to this sticker. Yeah, true. I want Vanish Into You to be a short movie like Marry the Night and maybe close the album with that. Yeah, that would be amazing. I love Vanish Into You, but I fear it's not going to get much traction from the GP. I agree with you, but you know what's crazy is like album eras are so different now, where everything is on streaming and everything is so accessible. Before, you would only like buy a song, you would buy an album or buy a song individually. So like releasing singles it's just different now compared to how it used to be. So it's hard to kind of push a song that's already been out for months, and that hasn't grown organically. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a music label person, but yeah, I don't know. Was there one more comment? I don't think she had a time to prepare and film the video. I hope I'm wrong. Are you talking about like a third music video? Fourth music video if we count Die With A Smile? Yeah, I don't know, because she's been planning stuff and just hidden away for a long time. But who knows if she's got a third music video. I don't think she does yet, but I would really like one more visual from Mayhem. Would be amazing. I'd absolutely be here for it. Vanish Into You is one of her most beautiful songs. The visuals would be amazing. I agree. We all agree, guys. We all agree on like pretty much everything we've spoken about today, right? We all like the same songs. We all want the same songs on the Coachella set list. So yeah, right. I need to go and finish sewing my outfits. I need to stretch my back. I've been sat on the floor this whole time. I need to, next time I do one of these, find somewhere to sit more comfortably. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so happy that so many of you decided to come and chat with me today. I was really worried there'd be 0 people. I was like really scared. So thank you so much. I'm so happy with how today's gone. And obviously I'm going to leave this recording up for if you like missed part of it, you only joined halfway through, or you had to leave early or something. The whole thing is going to be on my channel. Don't know if it was mentioned, but what's your opinion on the Coachella billboards? Yes, we spoke about that right at the beginning. Don't you worry. I'm going to save this video on my channel so you can rewind and watch it back at the beginning. And we talked about that for a long time. So yeah, it's all there. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. As always, best wishes and kisses, and keep an eye on my TikTok and Instagram and everything for all my Coachella updates. I'm going to be vlogging, but if you want real-time updates, it'll probably be on my Instagram stories or TikTok. So yeah, that's where you'll find it. Wish me luck on getting these outfits finished in time and getting to LA safely and all of that stuff. But yeah, thank you so much again. So much love and appreciation for you all. But yeah, best wishes and kisses again. Mwah! Bye!